HFL students, welcome back to fall semester 2015. I'm so excited to have such a great turnout for this semester and from previous semesters. This is an exciting time for our program for a number of reasons. Um, the byline here is Healthcare Facilities Leadership for the 21st Century, Different Day One. Um, I truly believe that we are shifting the paradigm through this program and through many other things that the industry is doing to advance our profession and prepare for the transition of, pretty much of many personnel over the next few years. But welcome back to the fall semester. Some of you who are listening to this are here for the first time. I'm excited to say that some of you, a few of you who are listening to this, may be listening to this welcome or a welcome for the HFL program for the last time, because believe it or not, this fall we have the possibility of graduating a couple of folks. One person particularly would be getting their degree, and something else that we're working on. It's not completely approved through the process of the KCTCS system, but we also may be opening up a diploma and certificate program or credential through the HFL program. There are a number of reasons for that. I actually, at this time, I've just put it out there as it's a possibility for this semester. Almost certainly next semester, we'll likely have a diploma and certificate or certificate. And for those of you who are not familiar with those type of credentials, typically it goes certificate, diploma, degree. And the thinking behind that is there are some people who do not need the degree because they already have master's or bachelor's degrees and they want the core information. Or there are some people who just want to investigate or look into the industry or strengthen their ability to get into the industry or maintain their jobs in the industry, and they want to incrementally grow while they're, grow their career and their academic path. So that would be more like the certificate. The diploma would be somebody who is intentionally working towards a degree. However, at this time, maybe they're going to be a supervisor or maybe a lead person within the department, and this will position them for a leadership role and a degree down the road. So those are very exciting things. But the other thing I want to go over is I just want to update you on the progress of the program in our short 3 semesters going into our 4th semester, our 4th full semester. The first thing is the number of applications. We are seeing a big jump in applications this semester. If you look at the map here in front of you, you can see around the country where the applications are coming in from. One thing to know is that not every application turns into an enrollment or a student. In fact, the first 60 or so applications, we only had about 25 students out of that first 60. But since then, we're seeing about an 80% conversion from applicant to students or enrollment. So it's very exciting. You can see again the epicenter being the Midwest in this part of the country, with Kentucky having 49. But you can see things are picking up around the country there. You have California that now has 8, and actually we just received an applicant contact from Alaska more recently, and I think Idaho was another one that was more recently. So we're starting to see applications from different parts of the country. It's starting to grow. I'm going to be heading out to, again, different parts of the country and marketing and updating and educating on the program. So this is a pretty exciting time. Again, I think in less than or just over a year, this program is starting to pretty much take root in our profession, and I really do believe that we are just scratching the surface on it. And to put that in perspective, if you look at Kentucky and see 49 folks who put applications in from Kentucky, and you think about how big the healthcare system is in Kentucky, it ranks somewhere around probably 38th or 40th or so in the country. And then you look at some of the other states like California, Florida, Texas, and some other states that have very, very large healthcare systems. You can see where you could have well over hundreds of students from some of the other states, and and tens and tens and tens, if not hundreds of students from many states. So I could see California potentially having, with its health system, in Texas and Florida, each of those all having somewhere between 500 and 1,000 potential students in the program, and then somewhere between for all the other states. So there's lots of opportunity here, and I think the certificate, diploma, degree pathway that we're talking about is going to create even more opportunity for folks and a pathway for folks in our industry. And so again, we continue to work on the bachelor's degree as well, and we certainly already have bachelor pathways to other accredited institutions for management. The bachelor's HFL degree offering is still down the road a little bit. I haven't quite made a path for that just yet, although some offering is coming, I think, fairly soon. So here's the applicants. Again, kind of exciting. This continues to grow. The next graph I want to show you kind of tells you how we've been growing for applications, enrollment, and retention. So what you see now in front of you is a graph and a dashboard that I present to the advisory board on applications, enrollment, and I say retention, but it's actually persistence. Retention actually has more to do with those that leave the program with a credential, whereas persistence are those that remain in the program semester to semester. So if you look at the application cycle, what you see is 5 data points. The first data point is when the program opened, and then the other data points are since then. And interesting enough, if you take the first data point on applicants by enrollment and you go to the fourth point, between 67, if you will, and 104, we roughly have just under 40 applicants, or about 37 applicants. And that was a nice steady enrollment cycle, or applicant cycle, and we're getting about 80 to 90% of those into the program. Interestingly enough, this single enrollment cycle we just had, we jumped 34 applicants in this cycle. So this may not represent it as well as a bar graph would, but I think this graph does give you kind of a nice sense of the trend anyway, and you can see that jump in this last semester. Now when it comes to enrollment, what we're seeing is, and some of you, all of you have been through the enrollment process, and we're finding that the enrollment process is somewhat cumbersome for some folks because we have a lot of folks that need a compass test. We have quite a few folks that have to get transcripts in, and now we're requiring high school transcripts, which is creating another delay in getting folks enrolled into the program. So when you look at enrollment from the very beginning, we had 21 in the very first semester, second semester 38, the third semester 55. And this semester, we're actually estimating, because we're not done enrolling as the time of this message, we're estimating 65 enrollments total for the program from the beginning by the time we open the semester. And we're on track to hit that 65. In fact, I think we did hit that 65 for enrollment. However, we think we're going to hit around 75 because there's quite a few folks still trying to get in. And actually, I think we might get closer to 80 for those 34 applications. And I think a lot of folks, and maybe some of you, I'm talking to some of you who came in late, are getting into the bi-term class. We have the HFL 120 Infection Control for the Environment of Care class that is now a bi-term class that will start in the middle of October. So I'm pretty confident we should get quite a few of those other applications and students into the program. So things are looking, again, very, very good. We have a great trend here. The last thing, which is the thing I was talking about, retention, which is actually more persistence, since we don't have folks with credentials just yet. But our persistence hasn't been too bad. Actually, our persistence is right on par with the college. The first semester, it was 18 out of 21. And then if you go to the second semester, I think that's like 28 or so, or 27 out of 38. And then we jumped to 37 out of 55. And right now, I'm estimating 45 out of 65 for persistence at the start of the semester, and 55 out of 75 by the time we get into the semester. I think the numbers are actually better than that because there's about 10 folks out there who have left the program temporarily. They are dealing with, several of them are dealing with promotions. I mean, they've been promoted a couple times, or they've been promoted to the point now that they're very busy in their jobs with what they're doing. In some cases, we have folks that are taking care of family members unexpectedly. A lot of folks in this age, I just went through it a couple years ago, where we're taking care of our parents. And so we have folks that are taking care of parents, and then we have just some life changes. We have some folks that are dealing with their own kids going to college and having to take a step back, or possibly even dealing with some personal illness issues. So it's interesting. It's just I'm touched all the time to um, to know that we're real people with real problems, and sometimes we're real busy and we have to step away once in a while. But some of those folks have already stepped back into the program. Others are planning to come back. So I would say while the numbers look like maybe we've had about 20 students leave the program, about half of those I'm fairly confident will come back into the program for the most part. And the one thing I want to make mention here now too is that those that have left the program um, who may not return, um, predominantly it is because they underestimated, I guess, the time management side of things, being able to actually do assignments, complete assignments. I do not know at this point if I've had anyone leave the program who failed out of the program, if you will, because they couldn't do the work. In fact, I think that if anyone who has done all the work, that have completed the assignments and taken the quizzes and have participated in the discussion boards and the collaborative sessions, I can say with pretty much certainty that someone that has done all those things as part of the program have absolutely moved forward and passed the program. And again, so my message here is, basically do the work, manage your time. We're trying to give you more information in the folders so you can manage your time better. And really, time management, as we all know, is a major issue when it comes to being successful at anything that we do, particularly in our profession. So again, those that time manage well, they're able to get the work turned in and stay on top of it, tend to do fairly well in the program. So I just want to make mention of that. I hope this excites you. I think that we're going to see a really big uptick when it comes to enrollment here in the next couple semesters by next year. Also, something else I want to mention is we're starting to get more interest from folks at other parts of the country that are younger. In fact, I think one of the emphasis that I would love to see, and this is, I'm speaking to all you in the program who've been in for a little while, and some of you who are going to be graduating from the program down the road, and that is we're starting to see these high schoolers coming out of high school that are interested in the program. And one of the things that we need to do is, one, we do need to get the best and the brightest from around the country. So one thing is that I think that would be great if you start talking to folks at your organizations about maybe bringing in and creating a mentorship program, for, somebody out of a technical school. Maybe they're in, a mechanical trade school, or thinking about, they got those, electrical or HVAC, or even they're thinking about going mechanical engineering or something like that. But to bring them in and give them a job, doing maintenance one type work while they go to school. And then also very intentionally mentor them. Think about how successful this program has been for you who are working in healthcare, how you've been able to apply your knowledge. And I've heard it over and over and over again about how that has been an exceptional way to learn and to grow your network and your path. So, I think it would be great that if you would start those things going on in your chapter of ASHE or in your organization. I also think it would be great if you would consider being a mentor for the program, because one of the things we're talking about the advisory board level for success is that every person that comes in that is not at a hospital, doesn't have a manager or a supervisor or a director or someone there at the organization that is supporting and helping them where they can go to, but that every person that comes to the program needs someone like that. And who better to do that than somebody that's been through the program? So I hope you would consider doing that. I hope you would consider being a mentor, and that you would let me know, and I can put you on a list. And as we get students in the program, I can give them your name, and you can get there, and they can get your name, and you can converse through the semester. But again, along the same lines, I think it would be great if intentionally you sought out students that are not sure what they're going to do in the future, and again, think about how they're going to be 10 years down the road through this program. They'll be in their late 20s, maybe 30, and have 30 to 40 years left of their career. Think of the impact that they would make as leaders in our profession. So it's one of those things where you have the opportunity to make a difference and be able to see that difference over the years. And as you wind down your career, know that you truly took our profession and you really handed it off. And that's really the goal here, to hand it off to folks that are going to take it, and they're going to really take it to the next level. and that's the hope here. So I hope this excites you. I hope you enjoy this welcome back to the semester and this information. I'm going to try to do this at the beginning of each fall semester. I think when we get to next fall, I'm hoping that we at least double all these numbers by next fall. I just don't see how we can't do that. And also, if you would like me to come out and present what's going on with the program and even present some education out in your part of the world, let me know, and I'll do the best I can to get you on my schedule and come on out and talk to folks out in your part of the country, wherever you might be. So again, welcome to the fall semester. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a busy semester, but it's going to be, again, an exciting time for us. Welcome.